Okay, welcome back. Um, Earlier we found the GCF of a set of numbers. Okay, I'm going to show you how easy it is if you saw the GCF video, how easy it is to transition into finding the LCM of a set of numbers. Okay, so we're going to find the LCM of the following sets of numbers. So we have 12 and 72. Step number one, much like GCF, is going to be to find your prime factorization. So prime factorization, we need to make factor trees. 12 is going to be 3 times 4, and 4 is 2 times 2. And it really doesn't matter if you do 3 and 4 or 2 and 6. The only thing you need to avoid is never put 1 in a factor tree, because you do that all day long. Okay, 72 here. I know it's 2 and 36, it's 8 and 9, it's 12 and 6. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different numbers, but let's just pick 8 and 9. Those are two numbers that probably most of you would know. Give you 72. So, I can't circle either one because neither one of them is prime, so I have to keep going. So, 8 gives me 2 times 4. I can circle 2 here because it's prime. And 4 gives me 2 times 2. Circle here, and circle here. And now we need to look back at our 9 because it wasn't circled. If 9 was circled, we'd be done. But you never circle any number that's composite. You only circle prime numbers. But 9 breaks into 3 times 3. So we're going to circle our 3 here and circle our 3 here. And again, I'm stressing it doesn't matter how you break it apart as long as every number at the bottom is circled. Um, and some textbooks and things will teach you to go on down to the bottom with factor trees, and you do some weird things. But if you know that it's prime, circle it and you're done. So the next step is going to be to make a chart over here. So step one was prime factorization. Step two is make a chart. So we're going to make a chart over here that has 12 and 72 in it. So 12 and 72. And the only thing we do is we're going to copy our numbers or our prime factorization from over at the left over to the right to our chart. And I like to put them in order just because later on in math, everything's expected to be in nice, pretty order. Smallest to greatest is typically your best or ascending order. So, check this in your head, or we're going to check it out loud. 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. So now we need to write down the factors of 72. So this is the most important step here. We're going to take, say, this 2 right here, this first 2 that's underneath the 72. We have to match up our common factors, match up what they have in common. Or sometimes I tell the students to match their shoes, because if you have a pair of shoes and you're putting them in your closet, usually you match the ones that are in common together. And then everything that you don't have a match for, if you've lost a shoe, you put them at the end and maybe you'll find the shoe later. So let's move this 2 over to our chart. So move the 2 over here, and it needs to match. So here's a match right there. It's right underneath a match. We have another 2. So there's another 2. And we have a third 2. Well, over here in my chart, I don't have another 2 for a match. So I need to put the 2 out here. I can't put it underneath the 3 because 2 doesn't match 3. So I just put it out here by itself. And then now I have 2 3s. So 1 3 does have a match. And the other 3 doesn't have a match, so it goes out here by itself also. Alright, so here's where GCF and LCM are going to differ. Okay, for LCM, I teach students to use lowercase l's to bring every number represented down. So we're going to bring this number down, bring this number down, bring this number down, bring this number down, and bring this number down. So we wind up with 2 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 3. And that's going to give me my LCM. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24, and 24 times 3, if you don't know, you can pull it over here to the side. 24 times 3, so 4 times 3 is 12, bring the 1 up, 6, 7, 72. So 72 equals my LCM. Okay, so let's move on to the next problem, how to find the LCM of 30 and 45. So step number 1 is let's do our prime factorization. So 30, we can do 3 times 10. You can do, so 10 is 2 times 5. Okay, circle these. That one's prime, that one's prime, that one's prime. Okay, so all those numbers are prime. So 45. You can do like 3 and 15 or whatever, but I try to pick numbers that, say, students may recognize as being 45. Let's say we can pick 9 times 8. So if we pick 9 and 8, 9 is going to give me 3 times 3. I circle this 3, circle this 3. Those are prime. 8 gives me 2 times 4. This 2 happens to be prime. 4 is not prime. It's going to be 2 times 2. So 2 times 2. Okay. So as long as every number at the bottom is circled, I'm done with my prime factorization. So now I need to make a chart with 30 and 45. So 30 and 45. So I'm making my chart. Made a little dot. Let's see, we can erase that dot. There we go. So 30, 45. And again, just copy the prime factorization over here into your chart. And I put it in order: 2 times 3 times 5. And here's your important step, lining up what they have in common. And when you have a bunch of factors like this, I usually teach to mark through the ones as you use them. So we're going to use this 3 right here, and he has to have a match. So I'm going to put it underneath this 3. Okay. So now I have another 3 over here. So there's another 3, but there is no match for that 3. So it has to go out here by itself. Okay. So now I have a 2 over here. So 2, yep, he's got a nice little place to go underneath another 2. And I have 2 2's left. So I don't have anywhere for this 2 to go. So he goes out here by himself over here by the 3. And then this 2, the last 2 here, he doesn't have anywhere to go, so he's going to go over here by himself as well. Alright, so now that's a time sign. It just wound up kind of funny. But now this is where we do our lowercase l's, bring down every number that's represented. So lowercase l, lowercase l, lowercase l, lowercase l, lowercase l, lowercase l, which gives me 2 times 3 times 5 times 3 times 2 times 2. And that's going to give me my LCM. So 2 times 3 is 6 times 5 is 30. 30 times 3 is 90. 90 times 2 is 180. And 180 times 2 is 360. So 360 equals my LCM. And hopefully this has helped you out on LCM. And always you can reference the GCF video as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Alright, bye bye.